Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Tuesday, June 17th. I do want to apologize for not being able to have a show yesterday on the 16th. I am currently dealing with a West Coast time change. Y'all know I'm an East Coast. I'm not used to this, new to this, not used to this. Hey, Chili. Hey, Willie. Hello, everyone. Hey, Chili.
Well, I guess you forgiven. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, yep, it's currently definitely morning here.
I was
Hey,
about to
Will.
log off, and I was like, I I just went to the back chat. I saw it was a notification, and I'm like, oh, I guess we having a show today. I was going to put my device down and get on the couch, honey.
Just while I got a little time, because I'm still on vacation, celebrating with family, celebrating my
I know.
grandmother's birthday,
Yeah, I
and
wasn't expecting you to be here.
while I got some time, before we go to breakfast, I
Okay.
wanted to, just get a little bit of tea off.
Okay. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, my name's Auntie. I'm so busy. Are you on vacation? Are you not on vacation like me? That's why the show isn't happening today and early today. I'm so busy. I'll take pictures. Ooh.
Yes, very that, and I've been saying that all weekend.
That is just so much hating. I swear, that's just hating. Hating.
I love it though. But so like as you see, as I went ahead and started the recorder, so that way we can go ahead and just get things off.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start with the Pride Poll segment today. Thank you, Beezus, for coming up with that name. And today, Will actually suggested the person I'm going to talk about today, the iconic Leomi Maldonado. So I am sharing a link from perrydance.com that gives a really nice bio on her. And let me just go ahead and read up on that. So it has here Leomi Maldonado, who's known for her Vogue femme style. Leomi Maldonado, known as the Wonder Woman of Vogue, is a sensational Latina born and raised in New York City. She was introduced to voguing 16 years ago through the ballroom scene, after being discovered on the fourth season of America's Best Dance Crew in 2009. She appeared in music videos including Willow Smith's "With My Hair" and Iconopop's "All Night," and has worked alongside artists like Rihanna, FKA Twigs, and Zoo. Maldonado's passion is to travel across the world teaching Vogue workshops and teaching confidence through dance. Her moves have inspired choreographers and celebrities including Beyonce, Britney Spears, and Janet Jackson. She was featured in Nike's 2017 Be True campaign as an athlete. She has worked as a choreographer and actress on FX's Pose. In 2019, she was introduced as a judge on HBO Max's Legendary, which was the first ballroom competition worldwide. And I still think they fumbled by canceling their show. Anyway, her latest appearance has been on Rihanna's Savage X Fenty Show Volume 3. And then it has here a class description: Vogue Female Advanced Beginners class, breaking down all the elements of Vogue and teaching transitions to elevate your performance. So yeah, a lot of her moves. She has a move that she's famous for called the 360, where the girl like that's why they call her as Wonder Woman because she spins around and then just gives you a nasty land. Oh, shout out to Naomi Maldonado. When I was introduced to her, because I used to watch like a lot of ballroom competitions on YouTube, she was Naomi Mizrahi back then.
She's
So
beautiful.
that's my girl, honey. So shout out to her. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Yeah, she was my introduction to Vogue as well. I remember watching her when she was performing under the name of Angel. This is back in 2005 on the MySpace. And they used to post clips. And I was like, who is this? And she's the one that actually got me introduced to the world that is Vogue. And so her influence is still felt to this day. Like a lot of people regardless of gender identity, their vogue essentially comes from her. Either they take an element or they take the entire essence of Laomi and they kind of hijacked it. But I won't get into that. But she's
Okay.
she is such a phenomenal dancer, phenomenal artist. Like she's doing other things now as well within the scene, which has been very interesting and amazing to watch. It's great to see someone's evolution, even if you don't know them personally, like them wanting to venture into other things and be successful or want to be successful at it. So shout out to the iconic Laomi.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to her and happy Pride Month to all you. I just love it. And remember to send your contributions, send your content to Auntie at AuntieDerek.com so we can talk about you during the Pride Post segment. Does anybody want to add anything on this icon before we get started with the tea? Okay, well, let's get started with the tea, horny.
Tea time.
It sure is, yes. So, I'm going to post the CNN link that gives the updates on the trial for Diddy. And I did read yesterday that they actually did dismiss juror number 6 that they've been trying to get rid of. And I asked, based off of what I read, I think they did get rid of him because he's black. He was one of two black men on that jury, and they got rid of him. So anyway, let's go ahead and start. Let me go for the catch-up section, and let's see if they got summarize what happened yesterday. Okay, so it says sexually explicit videos and text threads. Here's a recap of what evidence the jury saw yesterday. So I understand that they actually did see video of freak offs and stuff. Um, Here's what the jury saw late afternoon yesterday. Records of purported 2009 meeting. The jury saw more records to support a purported December 2009 quote unquote meeting between Diddy, Cassie, and an escort named Jules at the London Hotel in New York City. The records included those for uh, flights and hotels that for that weekend that were paid for with Combs' American Express card. The records show that Combs paid for flights for Ventura and Jules and a room at the hotel. Then it says travel and hotel invoices from 2012. The jury was shown a travel invoice sent to Bad Boy Entertainment for a flight for Cassie Ventura from LA to New York City on October 10th of 2012. Special Agent Delisa Penland then read some messages between Ventura and Diddy on October 13th of 2012 that showed Combs asking Ventura if she was ready for tonight? Question mark. Mm-mm. So it says text messages arranging 2013 freak off. The jury saw text message exchanges of Combs and Ventura setting up a freak off with 4 men in January of 2013 to quote unquote celebrate Christmas. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That don't sound like nobody's Christmas. October 2013 messages about a hotel room. It says the jury then saw messages Ventura sent to a man called Dave on October 21st of 2013, asking him to come to a hotel room around 1 a.m. Dave texted her, thanks, LOL, around 8 a.m. the following day. Shortly before 8 a.m., Ventura texted another man, Daniel Phillip, asking him to wait a few more minutes. The next day, October 22nd of 2013, Ventura texted Combs if he filmed anything on his phone, to which Combs said no. And then let's say there were explicit videos of sexual encounters. For the first time, the jury was shown actual video of the explicit sexual encounters. Previously, the jury had only seen still images and heard audio from the encounters. The jury was shown clips from 3 videos created in October of 2012, October 2014, and December of 2014, totaling just over 2 minutes. Jurors, the judge, the witness, and the parties wore headphones. The lawyers were not shown the videos because the monitors are visible to the gallery where members of the public and press are seated. Okay, so that's very interesting. So nobody, the public is not seeing any of these videos of the freak off, not even the lawyers. So only what it says here, the jurors, the judge, the witness, and the parties.
That's good.
I agree. All right, so that was the update from what went on yesterday. Does anyone want to add anything? All right, so let's see what they were talking about today, honey. And it looks like there have been quite a few updates, and I'm going to go through the important ones. Let's see. Another one of Combs' assistants attested to expected to testify, but as of right now, it looks as if they have Special Agent Delisa Penland. She's with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, and she's doing her direct examination. Uh, the judge got on the bench this morning. Oh, what's this? Judge reprimands lawyers over article that revealed details of sealed court proceeding. Oh, okay. Judge Sabramian said stop playing with him. So it says Judge Sabramian reprimanded defense attorneys and prosecutors this morning over an article that he said revealed details of a sealed proceeding held Friday. Sabramian said, "Well, someone is lying." After lawyers from both sides said they didn't know who could have leaked the information. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo said he learned of the article when the government sent it to the defense yesterday. One or more people in this courtroom or the designated people who were here on Friday flagrantly violated this court's orders, the judge said. Sabramian said he'd be investigating and threatened to punish any violation, citing his order that threatens punishment as a severe and criminal contempt or sanctions. The judge warned both sides that he would seize their devices and compel people to testify under oath if any other violations occur. Okay? The judge said stop playing with him. Both the prosecution and the defense are saying that they didn't leak that information. He said, well, someone is lying. And he's absolutely right. This is sealed information. How is it getting out there, and how is this article able to be published? Okay, and juror number 6. So here says, here's what other jurors were told about the dismissal of juror number 6. Yesterday, defense attorney Alexandra Shapiro asked the judge what the other jurors were told about juror number 6's dismissal. Today, Judge Sabramian said the other jurors were told that juror number 6 was excused and they couldn't discuss the circumstances around it, and the jurors were not allowed to discuss it among themselves. Sabramian told the parties they would handle another separate issue with juror number 7 at the end of the day. Girl!
Boy. That's not the other black man, is it?
I hope not. Okay, so what's the next update? Prosecutors say they could rest their case as soon as tomorrow. Oh. Yeah. Okay. It says Combs' former assistant invokes Fifth Amendment. So Brendan Paul, Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant, invoked the Fifth Amendment on the stand. The jury is not present. Judge Sabramian will sign an immunity order compelling Paul to testify, and he's expected to take the stand later today. All right. So the jury's entering. Let me skip that. Special agent takes the stand to continue testimony, and that's Delisa Penland. So it says, jury sees records for flight and hotel reservations made for an escort. We just went over that because that was confirmed yesterday. Combs' hotel bill for Dave paid with 5 bank accounts. Oh, okay. Delisa Penland, a special agent with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, walked the jury through records related to a September of 2014 hotel stay in Los Angeles. The records included charges on Diddy's American Express card for a round-trip flight from New York City to Los Angeles for a man referred to as Dave. Hotel records show the reservations were made under the name of Combs' assistant, Ellie Monroe, with Christina Combs, former assistant chief of staff, listed as the contact. The card on the file belonged to Combs. The records also indicated that the guest later requested an additional room to be added to the reservation. The credit card statements with those charges were paid off by 5 different bank accounts, including some linked to Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprises. Okay, so that's where they're trying to tie in the racketeering, because he's doing all of this under the Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprises and paying for these escorts and transporting them across state lines. So that's what the prosecution is trying to prove. What's the next update? Jury sees records of hotel room damage fees Combs paid. So the jury saw hotel records detailing various hotel room damage fees Diddy has paid. One hotel in Beverly Hills charged $500 for drape and carpet damage. Combs' American Express card was used to pay a 2015 hotel invoice listing $950 for linen damage and deep cleaning. In October of 2012, Combs American Express paid the Intercontinental New York Times Square $46,786 for
Oh,
penthouse damage.
damn.
Girl, the name Frank Black was listed on that hotel portfolio. Okay, remember that name is important. Frank Black is important.
Mm-hmm.
So he paid almost $47,000 for penthouse damage at the Intercontinental New York Times Square Hotel. Child,
Damn near bought another penthouse.
hello. what's what's the next update? Jury sees messages between Combs and contact called New York Strip. So the jury saw messages between Sean Diddy Combs and a contact called New York Strip a couple of days before the 2009 hotel stay. Combs texted repeatedly trying to set up a time for a massage. Can you let me know if there's a problem so I can have time to get her another present? Combs wrote. Later in the conversation, they both asked each other if they were cops. Okay, I wonder why they call them New York Strip, huh? I know why all that means, and it's expensive. Okay, what's the next update? Photos show Ventura with a swollen lip after 2016 intercontinental altercation. So, Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson is presenting a timeline of records related to the March 2016 altercation at the Intercontinental between Diddy and Cassie. The records include text messages, calls, and photos, beginning with Ventura inquiring about an escort's availability on March 4th. The timeline also shows that Combs made 8 consecutive calls to Ventura around 11:28 a.m., all of which went unanswered. It includes photos of Ventura with a swollen lip, wearing sunglasses taken at 11:35 a.m. The jury previously saw these photos when Ventura testified that she took them in the car after leaving the hotel. Okay, what's the next update? Combs repeatedly called and texted Ventura after the 2016 hotel altercation. So Diddy called Cassie 3 times around 11:36 a.m., but she did not answer. She called him back twice shortly after, with each call lasting about a minute. Combs then called her back 3 times without an answer and texted, "Call now." Ventura responded, "I went and checked everything and spoke to security. Jules left, so you're good. As long as you don't disturb the other guests, they'll leave you be." Combs called her twice again shortly after, and she didn't answer. He then texted her, "Call me now, and call me, the cops are here." Combs called her 3 times at 12:08 p.m. shortly after sending the message. The first call lasted 18 seconds, while the other two were not answered. At 12:09, Ventura called Combs' former security guard Damian Butler, who goes by D-Rock, and she spoke to him for 22 seconds. Combs texted Ventura, "You're going to abandon me all alone?" and called her again twice with no answer. "Call me, please," he texted her at 12:10 p.m. "I have a premiere Monday for the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. I have a black eye and a fat lip. It was time for me to go. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done," Ventura texted him. "Please stay away from me." Both Combs and D-Rock called Ventura after that message, and she did not answer. Ventura called D-Rock back, and they were on the phone for less than 2 minutes. "Call me," Combs texted Ventura. "Help." Oh my God. Call me. I cannot with
Oh,
this narcissist.
I
I
hate
can't.
him.
Girl. Combs called Ventura multiple times over the next 10 minutes, with Ventura answering once for about 34 seconds. During that time, Ventura called D-Rock twice. "I'm about to get arrested," Combs texted her at 12:19 p.m. "Thanks." He called her again before texting her, "If you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again." Combs called Ventura 5 more times in the next half hour, but none of the calls were answered. Christina Coram, Combs' former chief of staff, also called Ventura once during that period, and that call was not answered either. Okay, so I think they're pretty much painting that Cassie most certainly did want to get away. She tried to stay away from him, his team, and everybody, and she avoided all their calls. And when she did talk to him, it was for no more than 30 seconds. So I know there was a lot of information we just went over. Does anybody want to add anything before I continue, child?
I just was wondering, like, what did hotels think, like, when they knew he was coming? You know, he was gonna tear up some shit.
They probably saw money, dollar signs.
That
Mm.
too, but just the physical process of cleaning up his mess, even though he paid for it. I mean, no, who wants to do that?
You are absolutely right.
The poor maids, had to do that. Yeah, they got paid, but mm, I don't know.
Uh, and what's the next update? Timeline shows flurry of calls and texts after the. Uh, so I mean, I really don't think we probably need to read this only because I think this, from what it looks like, it's pretty much a continuation. They keep trying to call Cassie, both
Right.
D Rock. So yeah, we don't. We get the picture. What's
Yeah.
the next update?
Will has his hand up.
Oh, go ahead, favorite tours.
I'm very surprised like no one documented any of that mess and sent that in as well. If someone went to the extent of making a copy of the actual security footage, like no one put two and two together, or if they did, I'm not sure if they presented it to anyone because that would have been very interesting for that to come out.
They look. I get the feeling they probably did try to document it, but they were paid to get rid of the documents and the notes.
And well, knowing his reputation, they probably thought better of um, double crossing him. I do find it interesting, though, that his other personal assistant wants immunity before they testify.
Yeah, because they know they had a hand in.
Yeah, but none of the other ones have done that. I don't know if they have immunity or not, but it just seems weird that they would mention that. Like, do the other ones have it too? All the people that have testified so far? It's assistant wise, quorum, and
Yeah,
who
that's a good
the
question.
the other guy. Yeah.
And what's
Uh,
this next update? It says Combs' staff texted about damages in LAPD after hotel incident. So Cassie and Diddy's assistant Ellie Maroon, or Maroon, however you say her name, Ellie, were on two calls starting around 5:30 p.m. Shortly after that, there were about four calls between Ventura and Combs. After 5:52 p.m., Christina Karam texted him around, "I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask just to cover damages." He wants to speak to Spanish security guard, Morales responded. Say they had a fun, drunk night and try to get more info, Karam tested. LOL, no shot, they aren't playing nice, Morone responded. Combs and his former security guard, D Rock, each called Ventura several times between 6 and 7 p.m., with most of the calls being answered. At 6:55 p.m., Carrie Morgan, a former friend of Ventura, texted Karam a picture of a business card from LAPD and said, "I don't think anyone should call her." Karam asked if she could call Morgan in a bit when she was alone. She was looking for anyone to say the wrong thing so she can call domestic abuse, Morgan wrote. This is crazy. Later saying, Cash just asked me to send you that. Ventura then answered a call from D Rock and two calls from Quorum at 7 p.m. Quorum texts him around at 9:55 p.m. Did you get security? PD is asking. Wouldn't give it to me, Marone responded. What is Eddie's last name? Quorum wrote. Two photos were recovered from Ventura's device, taken at 7:09 a.m. the next day, March 6th of 2016. One of the photos appeared to be a picture of two men, and the other shows someone sitting on a couch. Combs texted D Rock, "How is she?" at 9:32 a.m. She's okay. She's eating breakfast. Her face don't look bad. She's good. D Rock wrote. A mess. He said Ventura was smiling and laughing and suggested Combs call her or call the house. Enabling him. What's the next update? I wish I could just crawl in bed and stay there until I look better. Ventura texted Combs. Mm. Well, I think that's self explanatory. We probably won't need to read that update. All right. And then it says the court is taking a break. And they're back from break, but the jury's entering, and now they are cross-examining Delisa Penland. So Unfortunately, everybody, my family is ready to go have breakfast. So I have to abruptly end the show
Short it
here.
short. Okay.
However, I did for the tea that I do have prepared for today. I'll actually just do a recording so they'll just get on the platforms later. So just a few stories I had prepared, but unfortunately, I can only cover the Diddy trial today on today's show.
No
I
problem.
will try to be back tomorrow. I won't make any promises. I'll certainly be back on Thursday. I don't even know about Thursday.
Don't lie
I,
to
right. I'll keep y'all updated.
her. That's better.
But thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. And you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
You too. Enjoy.
Thank you.